All right, everyone. Hello, and welcome to today's presentation of the Super Metroid Randomizer Multi-Category Tournament 2022. I am Apathy Duck, and I'm joined today by Aussie. How you doing?
Hey, Apathy. I'm doing good today. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We got a pretty good one here today. We got a Polar Bear Bunny versus mctimothy. Should be an exciting race. Do you want to explain what today's mode is?
Sure thing. So we're into the first week of the multi-category tournament. That means we're playing a full area randomizer, as well as full item randomization with a countdown timer. So we're going to have the various zones of the game shuffled around, and with the countdown timer, it'll tell us which zone we're in, as well as how many major items are in each zone. And then as part of full item randomization, the major items can be in any location.
Right, with the restriction that Morphin will always be in criteria, and neither suits will be in criteria. And we have another cursed Kirby ship, and I hate this. At least we don't have the sprite. That's the worst part, honestly.
Yeah, the ships are like getting out of hand now. Like they're becoming more advanced.
They're becoming sentient. So we will have a fairly normal opening here, just going down, grabbing either our morph on morph pedestal or in the ceiling. Like I said, suits can't be in criteria. Suits are one of the most valuable items in this, really unlocking two of the major zones, Norfair and Meridia. Um, with them not being in criteria, you would think criteria is a little less valuable, but like just getting any sort of movement early on is also hugely valuable. So generally, you're still gonna want to clear out these first four. Well, three besides morph. The other big thing is whether we find power bombs right away. If we do, we'll be able to check this criteria door off to the left. We can get a couple more checks here with Billy Mays and below Mother Brain. Otherwise, they'll be a little isolated and have to be cleaned up later.
Yeah, these first early checks are always going to decide what options are available to the runners. And it's a nice speed booster. So that'll open up the bomb wall top parlor as a path forward. But there's still more checks to do, so we'll see what else they get. Probably some type of ammo.
I assume that doesn't put shaft supers in logic because there's no way you can do that with that much health. Well, that E tank might.
Yeah, that would need like one E-tank, probably two.
Yeah, I would guess two, if anything, because you're going to take damage on the spikes too if you're completely naked. So I do have the one E tank here.
Yeah, and of course we would also need power bombs.
Yes, that is true.
But then in the same line of thinking, you can spark into a gauntlet. If you have one pack power bombs
Uh,
and an E-tank.
polarbearbunny is doing the duck classic, forgetting that when you get morph second, you need to check construction zone. They both have done the same thing. So especially early on when you don't have like you're early on, you're still really hungry for miners too. You really want you. I mean, just you need supers and power bombs to even open up logical locations.
What's
So
happening
skip
here? We got
getting.
speed at construction zone.
Yeah, they both skip the construction zone, which is a duck classic when you get more in the ceiling because you're so used to doing it the 80% way where you check it first.
Yeah, so they got an early speed start. Meaning if you really wanted to, you
Oh,
could
morph
try
was
and spark
first.
up this.
Oh, right, it was E tank in the ceiling. Okay, ignore me.
Yeah, speed was at construction zone.
Listen,
Um,
there's a reason I'm not a favorite for this tournament. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
oh no. Anyway, we're gonna see a bomb Terizo visit here with their one missile pack, and otherwise they're gonna have to do uh, use their speed booster to go left. But we'll see what they get.
Oh, right. Speed does open that, yeah.
Yeah, so just more E-tanks. And they'll force them to go left and check get the Terminator item. And then they'll be next to the Torian and the Brinstar elevator. And those are going to go to unknown zones that we won't know until they go through them, because this is area randomizer.
Yeah, the only thing we do know for the areas is the bosses are normal. So Kraid's and Kraid, Ridley's and Ridley, so on and so forth.
Okay, a third E-tank. What does this mean?
It means Norfair is probably going to be a thing.
Yeah. Probably going to see a very early Norfair that they're going to have to go through. But at the same time, just missiles doesn't open too much. Like
Yeah,
after the very early zones, you need supers to open a lot of doors.
there was a lot you could do. Well, not a lot, but there's some stuff you could do in Norfair.
Yeah, I think random start is going to be featured in one of the weeks.
Well, there is up on Norfair, and yeah, McTimmothy's trying to turn around, but this is the only place he can go. With 3 E-tanks, it's going to be pretty comfy to get over here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a super in Bubble Mountain. Or a major. There is 4 here. It's a pretty dense location.
Yeah, they do need to keep
McTimmothy.
their 5 missile count filled, because they've just enough to open pink doors.
Yeah, fortunately, it's Norfair. There's tons of bug spawners.
Yeah, plus the Novas in the room. Or in the business center area.
Imagine those Novas ever giving you the thing you want at the moment. I'm convinced they're genetically designed to give you whatever you don't want the most.
It sure
Yeah,
seems that way.
Yeah, PvP is going to need to farm them with only... Probably would have been better for her to... It's really hard to think ahead in these, honestly, but spend some time on that first bug farmer to get up here.
I mean, it never happens that you have exactly 1 missile pack, so you need full missiles.
And that power bomb is technically gettable with a very tight short charge, but that'd be very rough on 3 E-tanks. Plus, you'd be stuck over there, wouldn't you, without a power bomb?
Yeah, need super pack.
Pv's heading up. Unfortunately, she's still going to be locked to only 1 door here because you need supers to get to the right.
We should mention that in high jump, the blocks in the floor are shop blocks, and so you don't need bombs to get out after checking the high jump location.
Looks like she rode the elevator. Probably better just to dip in one of these doors. That was a long ride. Did she scout the next area while she was up there? I don't think she did.
Yeah, that was a Torian.
Oh, it was Torian. Okay, she did. Okay, so she got a little bit of a double dip there. So that's actually not that bad of a idea, especially with Torian. There's nothing to do. Yeah, like I said, genetically designed, engineered to not give you the thing you want.
Yeah, best part is when they drop a small energy, just so they are able to drop more small energy.
Yeah, Bunny has had enough and has just decided to go back to the bugs, which is probably the right call. It's not too far. There we go. Okay. Now just don't shoot 1. All right, there's our first power bomb. Still on the hunt for supers.
This is a 4 major upper Norfair, and our first one is grapple beam.
Hooray. With that power bomb, I think, and you have speed, I think I would just turn around and go back to Bubble Mountain.
They have to, right? Super blocks above.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah.
It can't check ice, can't check Kraid Mouth.
The only thing that else has opened up right now is Gauntlet with 10 PVs. It's possible. I don't... It might have been open with 5.
Supers.
And Shaft Supers, yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a bit of Blue Brinstar they can do now.
Yeah, and there was 2 items down there. They could also go to the Blue Blend Star door. That could be like linking to like either Red Tower or Green Blend Star.
Yep. And if they want to get back to Criteria, they'd have to do a gate glitch. But that's perfectly in logic.
That's pretty annoying with 5 missiles, honestly. Yeah, since you're already here and there's 3, I definitely would. Speed is pretty easy to get. The Norfair Reserve is going to be pretty tricky with just 3 without any sort of Crystal Flash. Wave would also be pretty tricky to pull off. Oh, and there's this door down here as well. That is gettable. I probably...
It seems dangerous.
Yeah, a save before this was probably recommended. This is one thing I've learned doing these is like you can always kind of just get like a surprise Norfair or a... Yeah, she makes the realization. I don't know when her save was, if at all. There's Spazer. So, she does have one. She's got 3 E-tanks already. Oh, she did save before coming over here. Okay.
Yeah, she's got the power bombs. Like, went right through the save room. So, sure.
Yeah, with 3 E-tanks and speed, I think I would check the first item in Norfair Reserve and speed at a minimum.
Norfair Reserve is a super door.
Right, yes. And speed is a super door, too. So don't do any of the things I said.
What a great seed we're watching here.
I thought you were going to say, what a great commentator. This is why I'm paid the big bucks, because I clearly know my stuff.
Your race is still tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, tomorrow at 5 Eastern.
So, still time to study up.
Okay, we are back in Criteria. Bunny gave up on checking the other Norfair door. So they're both on the same path. Yeah,
Spazer advantage, though. Can save some missiles here.
It's a pretty good scout. I'm always kind of like 50-50 on this scout because if it's nothing, you still have to scout the middle item. I mean, I guess in full countdown you can get rid of it by process of elimination, but I just never been a big fan of scouting that just because, like, again, you still have to go halfway to the other item.
I like the scout, but what you said also makes sense.
Thank you. I finally, that's one in my column for saying something that made sense finally. Yeah, I mean, it's not the longest scout, so it's pretty even.
It's a very fast scout, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just there's either something there and then you were going to do it anyways, or there's nothing there and then you go like, well, I still got to do the other things. So
yeah. And in this case, they also want supers, so that's another thing that you can look for with the scout that Countdown wouldn't tell you about.
That's true.
So they can reach every location in Criteria except for the moat, item-wise. That's behind a green door to the right of ship. So after this, we probably see them go down back to Blue Brindstar.
Yeah. Yeah, these things can get pretty locked off before you get all your miners. Sometimes, like, the game will just give you your 3 miners, like, the first 3 locations, and sometimes it does this, so...
Yeah, so usually, like, even worse in area randomizer, like we have today, where it just hides the miners that you need for progression.
McTimothy getting even more, you said, the Spazer advantage, the screw advantage coming through here. Pretty big. Now, did McTimothy do the scout? Because this would just be a reset, I think. Or were there Were there supers in the back?
Back was missiles and power bombs.
Yeah, the power bombs would be nice, but I feel like with the scout at that point, I would just reset.
Hey, the missiles are pretty good at this point too. They're off of 1 pack onto 2.
That's true. Although this goes further to my point. If you're at the point where you even want missiles, if there's 2 missiles back there, like the scout is pointless. Just like I'm going to gobble up anything that's there. But it's one of those. If PvP is used to scouting it, it's one of those things where it's hard to be like, well, I'm going to pick it up no matter what, so I don't need to. Making those quick changes on the fly can always be difficult.
Yeah, I can see them like having wanted to pick up these items no matter what they were.
Yeah, 15 is always kind of a magic number. A little less here than it would be normally, because you won't really be doing green Brinstar into blue Brinstar. This is also one of those seeds where like you go like, okay, there was 3 items in criteria, and I haven't found anything, so clearly there's going to be a good item here, and then it just is like gives you X-ray, and you're just like, oh, I guess not.
Oh, is X-ray our other item from criteria?
X-ray was in criteria power bombs, so
Okay, so
yeah.
they got all the majors here. I'm just looking for supers.
Oh yeah, they did. They each have one of the other. And now PvP has the last one.
So probably gonna see Billy Mays. Runners try to avoid that if they can. Maybe just checking left because it's faster.
I think I would check left and this door, especially with screw attack. You're not too worried about these side hoppers owning you, and you have 3 tanks now.
I think if you check the door, you're going through it. Like, unless you're counting on supers being a Billy Mays.
I mean, it depends what's through the door. Like this, you're not going through.
But that the one item, it could be right there.
It's true. I feel like we would have seen you attempt that shenanigans, but maybe if you were full.
Screw attack, 3 tanks. What more do you need?
Well, you need the 3 tanks to be full. I'll say that. Like that would definitely improve your odds. Okay, there's got to be supers up here, right? Like I feel like we're. I don't know what the logic possibly could be for that first lower Norfair item. Maybe it's in logic. I have no idea. Some of these bizarre situations, I really have no.
I'm pretty sure lower Norfair is always Varia, even for that item.
Yeah. I tend to not concern my. Wait, yeah, what? Okay, so what are we missing then?
Shaft supers. Gotta be.
Oh, all right, shaft supers.
So they can.
They can get to wave.
Yeah, they can get to wave. I don't know what the tank requirement is.
I mean, this is pretty tight. Like RBO, you have 3 at that point, and you're barely getting out, but you have high jump.
Yeah, there's some tight hell runs that are possible, but logically.
Oh, we never saw the lower Norfair door that PvP tried to get to and didn't make it. I'm pretty sure. Well, I feel like that might be in with 3. That's pretty tight. I don't know the logic very well. I'm more concerned about like what I can accomplish. I'm pretty sure.
Same.
The moment, like you definitely should be able to get over there with 3 if you have decent movement.
But still, they're closer to shaft supers.
Yeah, you should definitely do shaft super. I'm just saying of the possibilities. In no way am I advocating skipping shaft supers to do that. Well, the mctimothy is considering it. Timmy must have just forgotten about this because Yeah, like I was just talking about possibilities, not what you should be trying to do. Hopefully PvB does remember.
Yeah, it's just such a weird seed that I'm sure there's some confusion going on in the minds of the runners.
Yeah, definitely. These can definitely get you. All right, PvB has remembered.
Yeah, so Shaft Supers checks, you need to watch your health. It's possible to die doing this check if you're not really
She has
careful.
grapple, so she's less concerned. Okay, well we were really. So it's got to be that lower Norfair door, right? Or Wave is in logic. Wave being in logic just feels wrong. Like I said, like it's very tight. 3 if you have high jump. So okay, well apparently Zeb's done it with 2 E-tanks. So I guess that's the logic is 2 E-tank. I can't imagine 1 being it if you don't have a way across the spikes. Yeah, I think I'd be shocked if Wave is 3 E-tanks from this side. Because it's got to be, you have to have enough for the entire Hell Run before the Hell Run, right? So it can't be like Varia is there and that makes it possible.
I'm not sure about hell runs, but Very Randomizer does force you to do checks with no way back.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely. It could be possible there's Varia or another E-tank there that would put Wave in logic.
Does Croc escape anything?
Croc Escape was a power bomb. So, no.
So, no. Up to a healthy 25 power bombs.
I assume the super blocks to crate are not actually shot blocks in this. I haven't learned all of the changes yet. Sometimes a couple of them surprise me.
No, there's still supers. I think in open mode they were shot blocks, but no one's going to be running
open
that.
mode was that was open mode was just you can do everything with like a pea shooter. Yeah, it was a good point with grapple. She didn't have grapple the first time, so she had to go around. But now with grapple, just want to go across the Yapping Mall room after the health save. Yeah, I think PvP is a little lost because she's maybe she didn't scout this first, or maybe she just forgot.
Well, it could be that she thinks she knows the E-tank requirements, and like us, isn't sure because the situation doesn't come up all that often.
Yeah, knowing logic can be a double-edged sword, especially with like E-tank requirements. Like it's possible to just be like off by 1 or something.
But getting to the lava dive door should be fine now. If you take a Nutella refill and grapple across, then
And
plenty
coming
of health for
primarily
that.
from SMZ3, like I never really worry about the E-tank requirements just because there's so much to explore in that game. I always assume there's enough somewhere. So it's just, can I do it physically? So I'm not an encyclopedia on these exact numbers. Here, obviously, it's a little bit easier to, manually eliminate everything.
It's also different because in area it has like door-to-door numbers. SMZ3 is like the whole Bubble Mountain area is just like 5.
Yeah, and there's certain connections you would never even worry about, like the lower Norfair exit getting up to speed or something, right? Like that's just not a thing that can ever happen. Okay, so we're pretty sure this has to be it because I don't know what else it could be. Wave technically, but it just feels unlikely because of the count. We might learn something about logic here. Okay, we're going to learn something about logic here.
What a seed.
I've been known. I have kind of a reputation when I commentate to whatever I say or predict, the exact opposite is going to happen. So
Okay. Well, we know it's not Cathedral, because that takes 6.
that one I know. I learned that one the other day. And not that it matters because we don't have supers, but crystal flashes are never part of the logic. Obviously, a very good way to break that logic if you do have a crystal flash or 2 on board. But seeing as we very desperately need a super that's not really on the table.
Could be possible that it's the transition, the Lore Norfair exit. 3 tanks.
Oh
Sounds like
yeah, I forgot
you
about
have to
that.
get
Yeah, you're
there.
right. Yeah, that's I've been forced to do that with 3 coming the other way. I forgot about going. That's got to be it over wave. Or again, I've done the duck curse thing again, and it's somehow wave. So
Still, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they both check wave first, because we're pretty sure they can get there, and it's 2 items.
yeah, and it could
Getting
be
back, that's in question.
Varia, which would be probably a sequence break, right? Because I think you need to have it be able to do it both ways, but be a very convenient sequence break.
Yeah, still 3 major items in Upper Norfair, but they can't access most of the locations.
Okay, here's Red Burn Star. Red Burn Star is there's only one item here, and every single item Red Burn Star is behind a super door, except for X-ray, which they can get. But the really ooh, that crap. That's why you don't run through doors, kids. That's I hold R every single time. But anyways, what I was saying, the major value of Red Burn Star is there's 6 connections in here, so this is a major hub. So pretty likely to find something like Grand Burn Star or maybe Wreck Ship's not going to help because we don't have a super. But here's Green Burn Star. This is a little bit better.
And also, to get to Red Tower, they had to go through the tube, and logically, you can't get back up through the tube. So this is like a one-way transition that we expect the logic is making them take.
Yeah, that is true. You can sequence break it as long as you jump up without high jump boots. You can get through the door, but it's a one-way trip. It's the old Daffy Duck joke where it's a good trick, but you can only do it once. I'm sure like 2 people here got that reference. I'm officially old.
Death for Timothy. Didn't have access to the Batcave farm spot, so a good way to get his health up. And we'll see what's in Brinstar.
Not supers.
Yeah, so gotta make a couple skips already.
Yeah,
Waterway is available.
yeah. I was
That's
about to
that
say
bad.
that's a red door, not a green door. I mean, traditionally you will super it. I suppose Bunny could have just forgotten what the color was and just is so used to supering that door that she forgot it's actually not green.
Yeah, could just want to skip it because it's slow. Could be worried about health. Reasons to put it off. Probably going back through there later with supers.
Well, there's plasma.
Yeah, that's green.
Polar bear valiantly tries to avoid the power bomb. It's kind of a weird situation. I tend to be pretty gobble up all miners until I have Varia in case hell runs might be a thing. But when you have 35 power bombs and no supers, like that really hurts the odds of you ever being able to hell run. So, and look, that's not a super. It is an E tank though, so that's nice. Oh god, you know what? You know what's gonna be hilarious? If it's just E tanks over here to put wave and logic, and there's a super there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Just
That'd be
gonna unlock
so mean.
wave. So also
It's
putting off Eticoons. Had 2 checks there.
Especially if the super's at the gate and not actually at wave. That's more likely that you would have been able to do that with 3 and just turn around. Nope.
So wasn't criteria.
We're sorry, but your super is in another castle.
But you made to the other side of the green door. So that's
Yes, we have successfully routed around the green door. Yeah, Croc on that ammo is no bueno.
Yeah, that's something you want to be practiced at.
Yeah, there's ways to farm and stuff. I would not be. Is Croc in logic with like 1 pack of missiles?
That I have no idea. Yeah, that's our 1 red tower check is a reserve tank.
Yeah, all the other checks, 4 total, is locked behind a super door.
So I was wondering, like at this point, they've both been like going back and forth a lot, taking a few deaths. So at some point, they need to wonder how their opponent's doing, and maybe like try to skip something like Waterway to save a bit of time if they're feeling behind.
Yeah, I feel like in seeds like this, when you're just looking for a super or a power bomb or something, like you're always worried that like there was some like weird odd thing that you didn't do, that there was just a super right there, right? Like even if it's out of logic, but it's possible. It's like, oh, if you just went this way, there's a super like right there. Like this, all of a sudden, all my problem, because a lot of this seed's really going to open up a lot once they have just 1 super pack.
Yeah, they've already gotten the major counts for a bunch of regions. They just had to leave behind checks to not having supers.
Yeah. Besides Upper Norfair, though, we haven't really seen like any really big juicy ones. So there's probably 2 or 3 in Rex Ship. I think there was only 1 in East Meridian. We haven't seen West Meridian at all, I don't think. Yeah, just the 1 in East Meridian.
So 1 lower Norfair, 1 East Meridia.
So yeah, Rex Ship and West Meridian has to have a few, because we had what, 4 in Criteria, 4 in Upper Norfair. That's 8. That's half of them. There was like another 4, so it was probably like 3 and 1 or 2 and 2, something like that.
Bunny is stuck farming missiles again.
Yeah, there was a couple missiles she passed on. Oh, here's the other end of that super door. So did we see both ends of Lower Norfair or just the 1 end? I want to say we saw both.
I
Yeah,
think it
we
was
did see
both.
both. We did see both.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what doors we haven't seen, because we haven't seen Rex Ship, we haven't seen West Meridia. I mean, Rex Ship is all but useless right now. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the super, and if it is, poor Bear is going to be kicking herself for not picking up early. But she will still be ahead, I think, if she gets this. McTimothy sort of went down a different wrong path.
Yeah, so Bunny can't get out through the green door back to this green Brinstar area.
Oh yeah, so this
The pipe.
like has to be super, right? Like almost by definition.
Power
Okay.
bombs.
Again, Duck is wrong about stuff. Oh, can you kill Spore Spawn to get to the Spore
Yep.
Spawn super?
We can have Spore Spawn being first supers.
Please. Oh my god, please.
She
I
took
think
a save, so we might be seeing that next.
Now it is possible for area to soft lock you. So I guess it's not guaranteed that it's a super there, but like, what else have we missed? Again, unless wave with 3 tanks is in logic for some reason,
Right now they're up to 5.
but
And
not if this is hard. If this is a soft lock zone, right? Because if it's a soft lock, that means you can't get back. You can only have gotten it with what you originally had, right?
So chat's saying she can get back through moat.
Oh yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, it can loop back around, which would be hilarious. You'd have to go through the one-way green door, which is something you would never normally not do, but that might be it. Like,
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Seed force you to do that.
I mean, if that's what it is the 5 E tanks, I feel like I would just reset and go to. I mean, three's rough to do that run, but
Well, you'd feel bad about not having checked it when you were in the area.
yeah, I think. I mean, you certainly can get there one way, right? It might have been worth the one-way check.
Oh, this
Because
is a
it could be
missile spore spawn.
Could have been a reserve there, or not reserve, an E tank to fill you up to make you so you get back out, or there could be Varia there that you can just get back up.
Yeah, we get to see who practiced their missile spore spawn fight. And then now that McTimothy's in the Brinstar area, we get to see him do his partial walk through the zone. Leave the one item behind at Eticune's, behind the super door, but clear out Brinstar Reserve and get his plasma beam.
Yeah, plasma's funny here because it's like you're always happy to see plasma, but you're so just like stuck in the seed. Like it's like, well, that's nice, but it doesn't help. Especially when you have screw attack already. Like without charge, like plasma's not. Oh my god.
Oh no. So the reserve was at X-ray, but he doesn't have that yet.
I mean, it's not like that Spore Spawn Moonfall is easy, even if you are a Mappo runner. Like, that thing is impossible.
It's more fun to go for.
I'm not saying not go for it, but it is, like, really rough to actually pull off.
All right, and the Croc fight. Wherever that was, there's many items there. Perfectly doable on however many missile packs they decide to pick up by then. Going in with this few, might want to hope to have practiced farming.
I'm surprised PvB is not picking up that missile. She's gotten enough like spots where she has to farm.
True, and she still has to probably open another pink door somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, this is also the situation, and I've done it before too, where I'm picking up either a missile or a super pack, not because I really care about the max. It's just like I'm low right now. I just want 5 more. Like,
yeah, like that'd be a reason to get more power bombs if they ever find themselves low on power bombs.
yeah, I've definitely done that as well. Obviously, you do have the 7-second fanfare here, which is pretty long, but I mean, you can easily waste more than 7 seconds going out of your way just for a set of missiles.
Yeah, like even in SMZ3, like I stock up on so many missiles in the early game, just because they're so convenient to have.
Yeah,
like, just a pile of them.
Obviously, the difference there, at least on the SM side, is you don't have the fanfare, so the cost benefit is a lot different.
The seeds got them running laps around the planet. Still no clear sign of what to do.
I think PV just forgot what that was. It would have made more sense for her to hit the refill and then go up because she needs her health to be able to get to wave. And obviously you can't get to the speed farm because that is behind a green door.
That Bunny
Oh, I
doesn't use a
forgot about
tracker.
that. Oh, yeah, it could be Croc. The only reason PvP dumped out was because of ammo, so that's even more of a reason that she's been picking up these missiles. It could be Croc. In fact, I feel like that's. Oh, I wouldn't say more like I feel like they have 5, so it very obviously could be Wave.
Yeah, it's why
Did
it's surprising for McTimothy to be leaving Croc.
I mean when PvP did it, she had 9 missiles total at the time. I would 100% bail there too, but you got to keep that in the back of your mind and being like, I need to get, especially when there was a major there. Plus, there's what 5 total. So I mean, at this point, like just any location that can give you supers is going to be huge. So she might be really kicking herself for skipping some of these missile packs shortly if it's not wave. Well, we do have 5. So we have 5 E-tanks in logic. McTimothy's at 5. And we figured out that the green Brinstar was not locked because it could loop you back around through criteria. So it's not a one-way trip.
Seeing a Spore Spawn fight from McTimothy. I get his nice pack of regular missiles.
But yeah, we are also only one E-tank away from Cathedral being in logic.
What a seed that would be if you put first supers there.
First super, or there's still 2 majors. It could be Gravity. Gravity would put a lot of that East Meridian in logic.
But then we'd have to like think about every zone and how little you can do without supers. So we should just give them supers and make it easier on us.
I feel like if you're in this race and you start killing Spore Spawn, you kind of have yourself a giggle and you feel really smart, and then you see it's a missile and you're like, excuse me? Like, what have I missed? Now, did McTimothy see Croc? I know we saw it on PvP side. I didn't see it. I mean, I would just assume so, just because they've been so
Yeah, he
diligent in
saw
procuring.
it just a minute ago. That was through the criteria entrance behind the green door. So it could be that he actually does want them to go like a roundabout way through that green door. But we'll see what Wave Beam area has first.
Yeah, I mean, McTimothy with 25 missiles, I wouldn't be surprised if he heads to Croc. And then whoever's right, I think it's going to have a giant lead.
Probably won't feel like a giant lead.
Oh no, absolutely.
42 minutes in.
At literally no point
Yeah.
at any point in this race is anyone going to feel like they're definitely ahead. I do have a little bit of a Schadenfreude watching this because PvB was watching me do a particularly horrid seed last night, and she was having herself a giggle. So she was on the other foot now, ain't it? PvB's coming back through Upper Norfair, not going after Wave. What could she think is over here? Unless she's going to Croc. But I mean, at this point, with the 4 E-tanks, like, even if you think you can't get back out, I think the one-way scout is. I mean, this seed has just gone so sideways. Like, you got to do the scout at the very least. Oh, PvP hasn't checked the transitions in Red Tower. Okay. Still, I would. You can save in Upper Norfair.
Like you're right there. Your options are limited.
Like I said, just the even if you can't get out, right? I think you get a lot of information, and you can get an analogic super, maybe even, and that would just blow the entire thing open. So, oh, she also never checked X-ray. Yeah, she's gonna think this is it and gonna be
Yeah, out
is
of
gonna see
logic
that fifth
supers.
E tank.
Earth's. Yeah. So over here's a reserve tank, and maybe that'll lead her back to the wave beam area. But breaking logic can be very powerful in very randomizer seeds. Like if it does want to hide required miner deep behind E tanks.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna get it. I think she realized that's gonna put wave in logic. Again, that's probably a situation. If I was really concerned about logic, I'd probably just reset and just go get it and not worry about the actual fourth tank. Because generally, whatever the logic requirements is, I found that like you can generally do it with one less fairly easily if you're a decent runner, which Polar Bear is, and both these runners
Absolutely.
are.
Yep. Both runners are very skilled at the game. Bunny, a finalist in the Randomizer League last season. It's part of my team. So cheer for Bunny. And then McTimothy, more of a vanilla runner, I believe. With a decent any percent time. It's a 46-minute time.
Yeah, he was in the last relay we had as well. I was running GT Classic, category that requires some shenanigans. So
You think McTimothy can make a run for Cathedral, even if it's out of logic?
yeah, I mean that's. I don't know if it's possible to get because you take so much damage just jumping into the lava, right? Like if I had a crystal flash on board, then like you can do it for like 3, right? You can just hop over there, get it, crystal flash.
He can scout it with what he has, but it
Yeah,
isn't
scouting
coming
definitely.
back.
I mean, if it's Varia, again, you can grab a Varia out of logic, and all of a sudden your problems would go away. Like that's one of the weird things about this. Ooh, or an E-Tank. Oh, come on. That. Oh my god. If I was McTimothy,
Hurts.
whatever screen I was using to play this game would be non-existent anymore because the controller would have gone through it.
But same time, that's the highest like E-Tank requiring item, so he doesn't necessarily need more. But that is a good sign of him going towards the wave area and giving us that check. Because like that's what we think we're down to, right? It's either a Croc or wave.
Croc or Wave, I believe, are the two things. Yeah, and even if Logic let that be the 6 E-Tank, like it's pointless because you don't need more than 6 for anything else. So it's not like that would put anything else in Logic. But the Scout's still nice, obviously, just so you know you don't have to worry about it.
Another missile pack.
Is this going to be a super or a major? or is it going to be nothing? It's a major
Oh,
that
boy.
is useless, so it's Croc. It's got to be Croc. I wouldn't be surprised if Croc's kind of a double dip where it gives you a useful major and a super in that area. Useless
Yeah.
at the moment, okay? Good lord, people. Does not open up anything.
So yeah, suits would open up a lot of checks. They found East Meridia, they found Lower Norfair. Supers open up a ton of checks. So one of the two, most likely.
This is one of those races that if you're in it, you kind of just start looking at the race time. Just like, all right, I'm just waiting for the other person to dot done. And I think both of them don't realize that they're both still very much alive in this thing. PvP still skipping over those missiles. I think she's going to be a little confused and then probably start kicking herself for skipping all these missiles. Yeah. It's just kind of the stare of disbelief. Now, skipping that spring ball is a little dangerous because, I mean, we have speed, which takes care of a lot of the stuff that spring ball might be useful for, but it's still possible with like some suitless stuff that spring ball could be required. If you're rooting for complete chaos, I think you're rooting for suitless in this seed. We are at 50 minutes.
That would be too much chaos.
We're at almost 51 minutes and we don't have a super missile yet. I'm really glad I ordered my food for 6:30 and not 6, to be quite honest. Like,
yeah, this is a seed.
Yeah, I was like, I'll order it for a little later just in case this goes long. And it's gonna go long. I mean, both of these runners are capable of finishing a seed in this time frame. So the fact they don't even have a super yet is a bit of a lull. Yeah, you give them a nice quick seed, you get some early suits, everything just well connected off of like Red Bridge or something. Yeah, we'd be announcing the winner, handing out the congratulations.
Yeah, seed like this doesn't come along every day. It's more typically.
Apparently, it does because I've had like 4 of these in a row. Don't forget, you've got that one in your inbox for me that I've already told you is cursed. So, and that was quite literally yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like I should have played it first now.
This one, I will say, this one is worse.
So I think we know that both of them, or I think they should both know that they want to go to Croc for progression, and just need to remember how to get there. A seed like this, where it's been such chaos, it helps to have a tracker, and no bunny doesn't. So we'll see if they can remember the way.
She doesn't track her areas?
No.
How? How do you remember all this stuff?
Yeah, so Timothy's on the path.
Yeah, and is gobbling up these missiles. Clearly knows what's up. So at this point, mctimothy is definitely the favorite. I mean, the seed is so weird. I mean, it's possible we forgot something. I don't think we have. But it's, I mean, Croc is 5 items. We know there's one major there. It could be the major is the thing that's required, there's not necessarily super here, but it's, I mean, I say it's unlikely there's not a super with 5 items, but how many items have we checked and we still don't have one, so who knows?
Yeah, 35 seems like enough to not have to farm at all. But we get to enjoy this Croc fight.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want Croc to be stepping forward on these. Probably should be angling up here.
Yep, every step forward is one more missile you need to hit him with.
Yeah, I mean, McTimothy's going to get pretty close here. What was that step back? Did you see that?
I guess not.
Like, Croc was coming forward and it looked like McTimothy only shot a plasma shot. Yeah, just did it again. Am I just not seeing...
The fake out?
Oh, does Croc just sometimes step forward and step back?
He does a claw swipe and steps back.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, McTimothy... I've been in this situation before, where you get him real close to the edge, and then all of a sudden he just starts marching his way forward, and you cry.
And Bunny looks to be
Yeah,
collecting missiles for her coming up fight.
This is the problem when you kind of get him halfway back, is he'll just start taking steps forward, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
He's being pretty cooperative, though. Getting a lot of farming patterns.
This is incredible. I've had him basically just, like, run all the way back, and I have nothing, and I just... Now, you aren't soft-locked in here. McTimothy could just realize he kind of did a bad fight and go back through the door and reset. Like, you're not... The door is open. As we saw before, we obviously came in here and went back. But he is agonizingly close. Yeah. This is the problem. You really need to get, like, enough ammo to sort of, like, finish him off here. Otherwise, he's just going to keep walking forward. And
Yeah, another thing is you want to shoot one missile at a time instead of doubles. Just so you don't get pushed too far towards the spikes.
I would think you'd want to do doubles to minimize his RNG.
Like, assuming that you're going to run out of missile ammo and need to farm still.
That's true. Yeah.
He's also taking a lot of hits. But the end is right there.
Yeah, I think he needs... Oh, no! Now, we saw... I mean, McTimothy did miss a lot. Polar Bear is having a much more controlled fight. Did miss one there. We saw 35 is not completely comfy, and PvB is only on 25. I think she's also doing the smart thing, is anytime he does go into a farm pattern, just to take what you can get.
Yep. You're going to want to get the full farm off for every farm pattern.
This race has come down to a race in Croc.
Yeah, great Croc
Oh,
tug
look,
of war battle.
a power bomb. Thank you, Croc. All right, PB's got she's got 12. I have faith in her ability to finish off this fight now.
Yeah, was it 50 power bombs to kill the tongue?
Only 50? Might as well go for it at this point. Like,
Yeah, he's giving you power bombs.
yeah, you don't need to farm 15 of those. You'd be... I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't laugh, but...
Yeah, It's going to be the very last check.
Yeah, whichever way they decide. Well, they can't. I would say normally you can gate glitch to grapple, but that's not an option right now, is it?
They do have ways to get there.
Yeah. They just can't do it first, so grapple will obviously be last. Well, I guess you could do Indiana Jones last, but with speed checks, usually you just shine up there and then come back and shine again.
But still, this is an hour in. They're in the same room. What a race.
Yeah, if I was McTimothy, this fight has gone sideways. I think you just got to bail, refarm up, try to be a little bit more careful on your second Croc fight.
Depends on how he's feeling about his farms. Like, maybe he's getting more used to it.
This is the problem where he just like steps forward, like.
But like, if he does leave, then where does he get missiles? The ship's right there, but you'd have to go around the world.
That's so cruel that the ship is right there, but you're stuck. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Like, you don't really have. He is leaving. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh, there's our one item. So it's wave is not. Yeah, unfortunately, there's just the crabs here.
Oh, there's the Green Star missile recharge you could use.
Did end up just taking the ship. Yeah, I forgot exactly what the map looked like, but there were a couple options, I think. I think McTimothy's going to be very surprised that he was very much ahead in this race until that Croc fight. I mean, like I said, both players have got to feel crazy behind at an hour not having a super missile, which... What? Did she not do...
Oh, really? Wave beam's progression?
How?
At Wave Gate in Pink Star.
Wave breathe.
That's insane.
Pink Star Wave Gate. I don't even remember. Oh God, that's right. You normally use super that, but you can't.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that, but chat's smart.
I wouldn't have. I would have just forfeit. I'd be like, I'm done. We're done here. Like, I don't know what is happening.
I'd be so confused.
Yeah, I mean, both of us. Like, I don't think we've ever. I mean, if we have wave, we'll use wave just because it's a little quicker. But like, I don't think we've ever been in any sort of situation where you have to use wave there. I would never think of that.
Yeah, there's a seed where you dive Lore Norfair your few items to fire fleas and hope something's there. Okay,
so what's the comedy option? Because I think, wasn't there still an item in Green Star?
I'm not sure. We'll know in a second.
I mean, the comedy option, I believe, is high jump. No, there's not. It's got to be the super, right? Like, I know I've said
just hit the comedy option
5 times that this has to be 100% definitely the super missile that we don't have. But this time, now we already saw Cathedral, but the true comedy option here would have been this is an E-tank for Cathedral being your progression. Unfortunately, that one is off the table, but that would have been legendary. I mean, this is already...
I think Wave Beam is hard to top, leading to this.
I mean, Wave Beam into an E-tank just for Cathedral. Well, I guess the problem is that would be breakable, right? Where this is just not breakable whatsoever.
Yeah.
Your first super missile behind the pink wave. Oh my... I mean, presumably. If this isn't, I'm gonna cry. Oh, there it is! At an hour and 3 minutes and 22 seconds, we have the first super missile of the seed. Get your your most memey emote that you have in chats.
This seed.
I don't know what you expected when I said, "Do you want to calm this race?" But I don't think it was this.
Definitely not.
An hour and 3 minutes for your first super. That's yeah. So now we have we still have, I think, 2 in Upper Norfair. We have the one in Renbridge Star. The first super door we open is Sloters. Shoutouts to Sloters.
Yeah, special visit. Yeah, we got options. Sloters followed by Spazer Beam. More items at the top of Red Tower, but I guess you want to.
I will say the seed trolled us for so long. We are basically down to the point where like every major is something pretty useful. I think ice is probably the bottom of the list of things that would have been useful, but I mean that ice is making suitless more likely now.
Yeah, that's ice. We have Spring Ball, so it's starting to add back up.
PvB doesn't have Spring Ball. She would have to go get it again because she reset it. But we do. The Royal
Even
Wii
better.
has Spring Ball. I mean, all we've seen is East. I'm trying to figure out what connections we haven't seen that are now open.
All right. So with East, they can do Batoon. Surely not. You don't have ammo.
Oh, mctimothy takes a death. He's got to be so frustrated. Like, I mean, I was half wondering if I would not blame him whatsoever if.
I feel like he knows he has to do the Croc fight. It's just.
I think he was just trying to get back there, honestly. Like, at this point, I'm kind of staring mostly at PvB because she's ahead in the progression. I'm just curious as to what it could be.
Yeah, we have seen enough of these not super locked areas of the map.
I'm just thinking, like, what doors can we get to? Or what doors have we... Oh, you know what? We did see... I think we saw the Crab, like, map door in West Meridia. So, at some point, we got to be able to get through there, and that's where, like, Wreck Ship and Crate's got to be. Right? Because... I want to say we saw both ends of East Meridia. I think we did. I mean, it's been so long.
True.
It was an hour ago. We were like, oh, we can just get a super, and then the seed's going to be free.
No, here's the play. Upper Norfair, 3 majors. One of them is Spring Ball. So,
yeah, Spring Ball. We can get... Yeah, and everything else is left behind.
Spazer's the other one. So there's just one here.
Oh, yeah, yeah. mctimothy only has the one. It's going to be high jump. Just prepare yourself. Like...
Starting off with Ice Beam and Crumble Tower.
If they get high jump, I think you would go East Meridia, though, because that would put most of East Meridia in logic, and there was one item there. I assume, is Suitless Dre not a thing in this? Or is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember my sandpit logic. Like, if high jump is enough for that.
I know just high jump got taken out of SMZ3 because it was a nightmare, but I don't know if it's still... It was a thing, and then it got taken out of SMZ3. I don't know if it's still a thing over here, though. For left sandpit, that is. I've never been able to jump out of that pit with just high jump. Like, I would just be done. I've done it with space, but just high jump, I can't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah, so I treat going into the sand at all, as well as the back of East Meridia exit, as being locked behind whatever you need for left sandpit. And I think that's gravity. So I don't know that I count those as available checks with high jump.
I'll defer to you on this. So. I mean, I think I would, whether or not it's in logic, I think I would go to East Meridia at this point. Dragon would be killable. Like you said, not in logic, but it's certainly doable. And there is an item there.
Yeah, the awkward thing about East Meridia is your Botwoon fight on 30 missiles, 5 supers.
That is true. That is true.
But they do have that ice beam to get in there. You can grapple up or snail climb.
PvP is still turning down missiles.
Yeah, I guess we don't actually know how many missiles are available in the seed, since they've been skipping them.
Turning down a super when you have 5 is... I mean, that's Crystal Flash ammo as well. Like you said, we said this a long time ago, but you could snipe the Three Musketeers item now that they have a lot more E-tanks, especially if you have 1 Crystal Flash on board. That potentially could be a big break, you know, if that's like a gravity or something. Like I said, we're down to like some pretty big items. I mean, charge is obviously a big one to get, but it wouldn't really help you in the short term.
Yes, I see a lower Norfair play more on McTimothy's side, since he's looks like given up or lost his path to Croc. And so that could be a way to get back in this.
Yeah, he might have decided that since he had that Croc issue, he's got to just make a Hail Mary or something. There's Arvaria. Okay, so now lower Norfair is completely in logic. That feels like that is the end of the troll path. We do have an issue of actually... Well, we have a ton of PBs. I don't... Is that going to be enough to kill Ridley?
So 15 supers worth of PBs.
25. That's bare. This is
Yeah,
literally...
that's enough.
That is exactly the right amount. Is that 15 for all singles? Or are you counting those as doubles?
I count them as doubles.
Oh, okay, so... If you're Aussie, you have literally barely enough. If you're a human being, you do not have enough ammo to kill Ridley. Now, I do know McTimothy is, just based on some of the pre-race chatter, more of a just vanilla runner, hasn't done too much rando, so I think he might be a little, like, wondering if some of these, like, there's a map change he's unaware of.
Yeah, that could be a problem if that's his line of thought. Like if he tries to do something funny in East Meridia here.
Yeah, we saw this 2 nights ago as well with, there was another kind of a big trolling one, the Papa Schmo slow guy race, where Papa just kind of got lost in the sauce and was kind of convinced that he had to go through East Meridia. There's some really like corrupt suitless stuff that's in logic, and if you don't know the logic intimately, you could just be like, well, this has to be it, right? There's got to be something I could do here that's in logic, even though it's a kind of an edge case, and just kind of trick yourself into thinking that's the path forward. So, yeah, again, someone who's not intimately familiar with the logic, that's certainly something I would do. Like I said at that time as well, where it's just like, I don't know what else it can do, so this corrupt thing has to be logically possible. Yeah, he's checking these, see if they're a shot block.
Yeah, I was having a thought. What if you tried to like X-ray climb to speed from the single chamber door?
That's a thing you can do? I guess so. Like,
I don't think so, but they're lined up, right? So maybe.
I'm not the master of all things corrupt and horrible on SM like I am with Owing to the Past, so I'll defer to you on this.
So I haven't really been trying to keep track of the transitions. I can only hope that Bunny knows where she wants to go.
I mean, I feel like you got to be heading towards Lower Northford for the back portal, right? I mean, I suppose you could do. I mean, you could do high jump list. That's can't be on logic though. Does have options for getting through worse from in the game, but yeah, you definitely want to hit that back door. Now, what's the requirement? Is it 30 supers or charge for Ridley in this, or is it just total ammo? Do you know?
That's not something I know.
Okay. I know in the SMZ3 it has to be 30 super, so it never considers missiles or power bombs. We can say with a certainty we haven't seen 30 missiles, but the seed could very much want you to like force you to go down into Lower Norfair to get stuff without Ridley necessarily being killable.
Yeah, that's completely true. Like, it could just open up a whole lot of the game without having that one thing.
Yeah, I believe there is one item in... Now, it could be charge, you know, and that makes your Ridley problems go away. It could be high jump or gravity for some suitless just sadness, just to add to the pile that is this seed. Space would get us nothing. The only thing space unlocks is GT missile, but there's only one item in Lower Norfair, so it can't be a second thing.
True, true. Yeah, looks like back to Blue Brinstar for Bunny. Where did this go? Was this our Lower Norfair?
I think it was. Because they really haven't been back over here at any point. So I think it was a hard one-way. I'm surprised at this point McTimothy just hasn't gone back to Croc. He's got the 45 missiles now.
Yeah, he's redoing all the checks that he's already done and checks that he thinks might be possible to do. Collecting missiles on the way, but this path does bring him back to Croc.
Now, if I'm polarbearbunny, I probably feel not great about my chances, but probably a little better, just realizing how dumb this seed is. Like, at a certain point, you just go, this thing is the most corrupt thing I've ever seen. It's pretty unlikely my opponent just nailed it. Like, oh yeah, clearly I'm supposed to get wave for my first supers at wave gate. Like, that's obviously, that's what you do.
Yeah. Then also, like, once the seed gets to this hour 20, then you just have to like play your best. See what time you can get from here.
She probably thinks she has a chance. Like, with how dumb this is, it's like, yeah, there's a chance I can win this still. I just got to keep going.
Yeah, she knows that McTimothy could get tripped up by logic, and it's pretty weird seed.
Now again, she had her own issues, so. And like we said, McTimothy is a seasoned SN runner, just not necessarily on the rando side. So, but yeah, this is not a seed you want as a novice SM rando runner.
Even in SM rando, you don't usually have to do missile Croc, because Croc is a super door.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we can all agree that you are a seasoned SM random runner, and it took you a hot minute to realize what the heck that wave was for. So, you know. Okay, mctimothy has a much easier time of this fight. Did it in less than 30 supers, so he would have been, you know, kind of got the hang of it. Would have been fine the first time, so it's a bit unfortunate.
I hate getting out of fire fleas when it's dark.
Oh,
No
without
hide
hide, yeah, without hide. Oof, it's the worst. I try to avoid killing some of those fleas in this situation. So at this point, as long as Polar Bear, as long as PvB uses the PBs correctly, definitely has enough ammo to kill Ridley. Just can't whiff really too many supers or anything. She's only 10 missiles. She's only 10 missiles short of being able to do it cleanly without any power bombs. So
yeah, ammo's pretty good for a kill. I just can't miss, like you say. Also, can't take too many hits. But switching to using power bombs, you can get hit, especially if you're not that used to fighting Ridley that way.
yeah, and these oddball situations usually I'll go down to 15 supers, and then use the rest of my ammo until Ridley turns red. So I kind of have a better idea of where the fight is. She also has grapple, so she's got a pretty easy farm to get up to full health, full supers here.
I think I would have taken that reserve, anticipating the amphitheater that comes after Ridley. That big lava dive.
Yeah, I thought that was required to have grab. I didn't realize you can get up without, but isn't that 6 E-tanks too? 6 plus high jump? Oh yeah, can you get up there without high jump?
Yeah, you can.
I don't think it's in logic though. Tracy was telling me about that the other day.
They've also seen the other entrance. So
oh, that is true.
That area of the map is in logic.
Yeah, good point. And this would just be convenient. I mean, the logic can require you to go around, but if you can do it, obviously you'd like to take the shortcut.
First boss.
Yeah, first boss at 1 hour and 21 minutes, and it's really just a completely normal seed here today at the SM Randomizer tournament. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Go around isn't in logic because of bootless lava dive.
Oh, right.
Again, we're both on the we can do that side, so we tend to. It's easy for us to have a lapse in judgment on those.
Opening up with power bombs. It's easier to do the power bomb fight if you stick to this rhythm that she's going for. And you also want to finish off with supers, both because it's easier to keep track of number of hits, and because the fight gets harder as Ridley takes damage and gets enraged.
Yeah, she started using her supers a little. Like I said, I would go to that 15, but this fight is also significantly harder without high jump and speed, like you would have in a normal 80% run. I've definitely gotten in a situation where, you know, as an 80% runner, I'm used to fighting Ridley on low, and then I remember like, oh, I don't have the correct equipment, and it's way harder now.
Yeah, this is no gravity either.
Yeah, so more damage.
Just a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think PvB kind of wants him to get into a pogo to finish him off here.
I don't know that I'd expect her to.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's another thing without high jump. The turnaround timing is a little bit tricky as well. And she's got to be kicking herself, but she's still in, as far as the race goes, in pretty good shape. Meanwhile, mctimothy is going to be getting his first super missile at 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 40 seconds.
That's mctimothy. He's opened up the
Yeah,
seed.
very.
A little bit
He's
more.
letting us know what he thinks of that that super pedestal. He's probably thinking like, well, that's surely the end of the stupid stuff, right? And no, there's more stupid stuff you got to do. Don't worry, it's. If you're one of those people who believes in rolling superstition, just to let you know, Polar Bear Bunny did roll this, so you might want to stay away from all her races.
Definitely an exciting seed, as long as you're not playing it.
Remember when I was saying before, I'm glad my dinner wasn't coming till 6:40? Apparently that wasn't late enough. I'm not entirely sure, like, with, you know, all respect to these runners, and this is just to comment on the quality of the seed, I'm not sure we're going to finish before 2 hours. I feel like it. I mean, there's only so much left to be done, but... Oh boy.
What we get next will be a big indication of what they do, or what they can do. Still need...
I mean, it's got to be...
I think gravity, they still need ammo recharge. And that could lead to a lot of checks.
I mean, I think of the, 5 items we don't have, only gravity and high jump unlocks any checks. So it's got to be one of those two down here. I mean, Spazer. I mean, we have Spazer actually. So there's only 4 items left. Space jump opens nothing. Like I said, the only thing it opens is the GT missile, but there's only 1 item down here, so that can't be anything. High jump and gravity both give us Meridia stuff to do, and charge doesn't open anything. It's just something that you generally need to finish the seed unless you have a ton of ammo. So
yeah, and they don't have a ton of ammo right yet, so they are going to have to find that at some point. They get Ridley into the enrage before starting on the last 15 supers. So we should have a better idea this time of when he's truly dead. 6 missiles per super. For every miss super.
it looks, I believe that's dead Ridley.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh. Guess not. Unless his AI somehow already put him in, but I don't think so. Those are really weird. That's something you would normally see, like either if Ridley's dead or Ridley's about to, or like a PB or something, where he does those weird swoops. So that was a bit odd. Of course, of course, of course, we still have suitless. I said this last night when I was doing that kind of trolley seed, where like a lot of times when you have troll seeds, you'll have like the beginning is really bad, and then like once you get over that first big hump, in this case being the super missile, it just all of a sudden opens up. It's impressive when like it trolls continually, like just puts more and more. I will point out though that you are now correct where this does put the other side of Norfair in logic, but again, there's no majors over there, so. At this point, we're just going to beeline to either East Meridia or West Meridia.
I forgot to check if the Lower Norfair entry, like the backside, if that had a super pack or not. So otherwise, there hasn't really been a way to even sequence break the seed.
Yeah, I mean, this is like hard lockdown. I mean, I think like getting to Hoda Ruby would be possible with that amount of energy. Maybe. Getting it and getting back would be the trick, right?
That's saying Three Musketeers had super pack.
It did?
That would have been easily gettable.
Yeah, that would have been the big sequence break then. Yeah, we did mention that earlier. That was when the seed started becoming truly funky. That would probably be something if we thought about it. I think you're a little bit more likely to think about it than me. But yeah, that'd be a pretty juicy sequence break possibility.
Yeah, these very randomizer seeds, like it tries to really lock down where your logical progression is, but that's still open to going out of logic to sequence break it. And that's something that they could have tried to do here. So high jump. We have the Meridian map room where you can freeze a crab to get up. And we have the Bottoon fight on the East Meridian side.
I mean, at this point, we know Kraid and Ruckship have to be off of West Meridia, so... And I believe there was an item in there. I mean, how many... I don't think we have any hanging items. We have one item in East. We have if there's one item in West, then there's only one more item left. I guess it's half. I mean, it is possible for gravity to be in East Meridia, but yeah, I think going to West, trying to find Ruckship, trying to find Kraid. Because it's possible one of those do have an item, and it could just be gravity there, and that's going to speed you up at the back end. I mean, Suitless Dragon is slow, even if that is in your repertoire. Especially getting all the way over there. And I assume that also means, if Suitless Dragon's not in logic, I assume Precious is not in logic either.
I don't think it is. But I think I've heard that some modes it is. I don't believe so. So there's the bad end of East Meridia. I kind of would have liked a ship refill before this. But there's a farm room on the way.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, in Polarbear's defense, her brain has to be just a giant bowl of pudding at this point. Like, it's really hard to, there's some seeds that I'll sit here and nitpick about stuff just because there's not much to talk about, but this seed, like, just whatever.
Absolutely. And on the left side is McTimothy about to get Various suit. So it'll be big for him. And he can continue through the seed. Do you think Bunny does sandpits first or bottom?
If she does, like, the only reason to do bot wound first is if you're gonna commit to Dragon, I think. So I'm gonna guess she does sandpits. I'm pretty sure she can do Suitless Dragon, but I don't think it's her favorite thing in the world to do. Granted, I don't think suitless sandpits are anyone's favorite thing in the world to do, so, take that with a grain of salt.
not in logic for a reason.
But yeah, like I said, because you really know that we've seen everything, we really haven't seen any of West Meridia, so 2 of those doors are wreck ship and 1 of the doors is Kraid. I feel like the only reason to come here first is if you're planning on also knocking Dragon off.
Yeah, but if you're going West Meridia, then you have to actually do the crab climb out of the map area.
Oh, you do? I thought you could just spring ball jump all the way up there with high jump.
Maybe you can. That's just obscure tech. My first thought would go to freezing a crab and jumping off of that.
Yeah, falling to these pits is awful, especially this short one. I'm not very good at getting out of sand.
Yeah, take some practice, get out. You can freeze the bugs and step on them. Rubbing against frozen enemies pushes you up faster, and then you can get on top of them that way.
Right, yeah. I wouldn't have I mean, I know that, obviously, but I wouldn't have thought to do that in sand. Also, Zeb is saying that you can double spring ball jump up there, which is definitely not a logical thing, so it's... So I guess requirements to get out of sand is, what, high jump and ice, then? I'm asking for my own benefit, because I'm... Like I said, I'm still learning some of the intricacies of this. Okay, so it does look like she's going to do sand pits. I mean, you can get some easy resets here. I mean, the only thing that's really going to help her down here is charge. If you're saying this isn't in logic at all, is charge. Yeah, Zeb, we're sort of going back and forth talking about both, but
like, it's doable, and with the save, you can get the checks fast enough. But charge would be the big helpful item. Space jump would help you get to Dragon, but I don't think she wants to do that.
yeah, I think... I mean, there's 2 possibilities for a mindset here. Either she's coming here with Dragon in the back, not wanting to do it, but, you know, saving it to last, just in case. Or, like, the siege has gone on for... She just doesn't want to deal with it, but is checking this...
Start to the grapple jump. I find getting around this little corner here is the hardest part.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's unfortunate. Usually it's pretty easy to keep it going once you get it, but you can always just miss an input.
Yeah, and has spring ball on, and so you have to press up before jumping instead of double jump.
Yeah, honestly, whenever I have to do these, I just take spring ball off. Just because the only way I really have trained my brain to do it is just by mashing jump.
Yep, Bunny, being experienced randomizer runner, knows how to do the ice clip, no problem.
Yeah, pretty easy trick once you get the hang of it.
It's more about knowing how to do it than executing it.
Bunny's supers are red, which are kind of throwing me off a little bit. Oh, nice drop spot, woman. Thanks. You're real pal.
Yeah, 1 green door coming up. That's all you need.
I'm rooting for gravity. I'm ready for the troll to be over. Just put gravity here. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and off on Gravity Pass Botwoon.
Wow. We have fast red Samus right now. There we go. We are still not in go mode, though. That charge is... I mean, at this point, you're definitely not going to search for ammo. There's only 2 items left.
It's also been a seed that has so far appeared to be low on supers. Especially, like, already finding so many power bombs. That leaves only so many slots for the other kinds of missiles. So, might not even be worth your time to be hunting out ammo.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's one in West Meridia, and then either Crate or Rickship will have the other one. Honestly, even making checks for Polar Bear right now doesn't. I mean, she's been checking locations for 2 hours, so I understand the impulse. But you're not going to get to 60 supers on this seed. I just take the knee and dig out charge.
Second boss, Dragon. See if we can get the full RBO.
second boss on 1 hour and 40 minutes. We have plasma, we have wave, we have X-ray, but we still can't X-ray this jerk.
So with the right side goops, around when Dragon stops shooting out goops, and it won't go in for a grab after you're caught. It's just a weird quirk of the right side pattern.
Oh, that's all. I thought it would happen on the left too if she started gooping soon enough. I didn't realize it was only right.
Never seen it on the left.
I want to say it happens to be on the left, but I can't say 100%.
Does get the quick kill. Knows where Torian is, so...
Doesn't know where Crate or Rickship is. I mean, like, you can deduce, right? It's got to be off of West Meridia, but...
Yeah, so West Meridia is 2 wreck ships and a crate?
It's got to be. Like, I don't think there's nothing else we haven't seen. Like... And if you know that, I think if you find the back of Rickship door first, I think you just go around, look for the other door.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everything in West is pretty quick off of each other, so...
Okay, so 2/3 chance of finding Fantoon first. Got it. Yeah, mctimothy's following the logic chain now. Just fell too far behind after that Croc reset.
I would have really looking forward if his plan after Croc reset was to try to break it, and he figured out the super at Three Musketeers. That would have been... They would have been basically tied at that point still. If not mctimothy would have been ahead if he got there soon enough. And it made this already amazing seed level even more amazing. So...
Yeah, where is this Meridian map?
Good question. That is McTimothy is going to have the same dilemma that PBB did, either going to West Meridia or going to East. Obviously, East is the correct answer. Like I said, I think if killing Dragon is in your playbook, you go for that and hope gravity is where it was, basically. If not, I probably would hedge towards doing West first, because there's 2 items. I'm pretty sure there was one West, and there's either one in crate or wreck ship. Honestly, the last troll we could, because like we were saying, we do need charge. The last troll this seed could possibly have is to put charge at like the missile by gravity, just so you full clear wreck ship looking for that charge beam.
Yeah. Otherwise, the checks from here aren't too bad. They've already done all the slow checks, or deduced by finding all the countdown majors where not to look.
I think McTimothy is still that high jump. I mean, he's got to realize that puts at least some suitless. Well, obviously, it puts suitless alive. There's nothing else left. But I think he was really expecting that gravity and is a little kerfuffled on what his options are right now. There's the pink Kirby ship we saw last about an hour ago.
Just running laps around the planet. That's the seed.
These are not the runners you would expect a 2-hour seed from. This is all on the seed. This is not on them.
Yeah, this is a seed that would stump everyone at one point or another.
Yeah, Papa, this makes your seed from the other day look like very straightforward and forgiving. Yeah, honestly, like if these runners weren't as high skilled as they are, this is a seed that potentially could be a double forfeit, because like what do you do? Like, I mean, I suppose there wasn't any like really difficult tricks. I mean, it was very hard to sort of suss your way through it.
It kind of just has like all the tricky like logic things that come up not so often.
Yeah, I mean, it does have obviously some required suitless, but all the runners who are in this tournament are aware of that, so they need to be prepared for it.
Yeah, it has some hell runs. It has the gravity baton, and those are things that you kind of expect once you played enough of these seeds. Like you have them as possibilities.
Were the hell runs required? Well, I guess, I mean, you didn't have to do them early at all, right? Like, obviously the thing to do was to go to Croc as soon as possible. And at that point you would have had...
Yeah, the seed opened up with 3 E-tanks, and then a trip through Upper Norfair.
You know what the
first power bombs?
You know what's really hilarious about this seed? The only reason Croc was sort of like ignored was because of how low ammo they had. Honestly, if you just had like 50 missiles or something, you probably just would have done Croc, because it's like, oh, there's one item here, right? Like, the only reason they sort of like went like, oh, Croc, I don't want to do this, is because they had so low ammo. I mean, obviously you're never gonna have supers for that fight.
Yeah, like if they had more missiles or even just supers, they would have both taken the fight as soon as they first found it.
Yeah.
And then wouldn't be having half as much trouble.
Yeah, Vari was in Norfair, but you didn't have to do it until after Croc, was what I was trying to say. Did PvP scout the mid missiles? Because if that's charged, she could obviously just beeline
No,
it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that scout would have been, since she's only looking for charge, that would have saved her a lot of these checks. So potential huge time save there just by scouting it. I mean, it's more likely not there, so, but the plus minus on that scout, it would be massive at this point.
It's a good scout to know how to do.
Oh, mctimothy is going to be doing is coming to West Meridia. Oh, she did scout the ocean? Okay.
Yeah, ocean, but not the middle missile.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
I need to be watching mctimothy to learn how to do this.
Yeah, so you'd freeze the crab halfway down and then springboard jump off of it.
Oh, so you just super him like the backup in Main Street?
Yeah.
Or this is actually cool. I mean, it's only possible because of here. You can shine this actually.
Yeah, you can shine it, but I think you need to freeze a crab near the top.
Oh, right, yeah, you're gonna fall back down. There's so little room there.
You could probably X-ray climb it. Or does it put you on the wrong way?
Why is X-ray climbing your solution to everything? It's like twice you've suggested it. If you're just joining us, I feel like that's honestly the best summary you can have, is Aussie's solution twice in the seed was just X-ray climbing.
Yeah, and the early back lower Norfair.
Yeah, that would have been huge. I would have loved to see that. That would have been amazing.
Well, maybe you could X-ray climb off the map room door. That'd be possible.
Yeah, but isn't the door that's north of that locked in area? It doesn't go anywhere. Right, because that's the transition, the wraparound for east.
I don't know what that looks like. It's not a door.
Oh yeah, normally there's a hole. Okay, so mctimothy is on the right path now.
We got space jump out of wreck ship.
Yeah, I gotta make a mental note to myself to practice that crab thingy. My mind is mush of that. Crab thingy is the best I can come up with. I'm sorry. Oh, so she did get. Oh no, she got space jump.
It was early enough in wreck ship. Whatever. That means this West Meridia item is going to be a charge beam. So, Mama Turtle or the beach area.
Yeah, I would just do. I think I would just head to beach right now because of the door being over here. But I might as well check this as Kraid. You'll just come right back around. It's not. It's oh wait, no, it could be. Never mind. They're both right doors. So there's the other wreck ship door. We knew this. Hey, we're finally right about predicting something in the seed. Where was wasn't Tori was at the top of Red Tower, wasn't it?
I think it was top of Upper Norfair.
Top of oh okay, yeah. That's right, yeah.
Like where it would normally go to Red Brimstone.
So this is gonna be Kraid, and then she can just hop right up to beach right afterward.
Yeah, pop into Kraid's lair, get a boss kill, pop out. We got the actual RBO boss order. Ridley,
We did.
Antune, Kraid.
And I think we're going to crack that 2-hour mark.
Neither runner happy putting up 2-hour time.
No. I mean, if we had like a big race of the seed, like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the top time was like in the 130s. Maybe a little faster, like, you know, if you had like used floaters and kip and everything, like probably one of you is going to find the sequence break, and that's going to help a lot. Here is McTimothy's gravity suit.
McTimothy, he's really just like a set distance behind. Just not really catching up.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. He was the first into Croc, but then had that first... just was not very careful with his ammo the first time, forcing him to reset. Hopefully charge is just right here. Nope. Why? Why would it be right there? Of course, of course the sea base is gonna make you go as far as possible. At least we didn't have the full clear wreck ship. I suppose that's the one saving grace.
At least the space jump was early. Wreck ship.
Yeah, I mean, I think on balance, probably better to full clear West Meridia first because it's gonna be easier to dig out. Just in case space was late, right? That was potentially a lot of wasted time in wreck ship.
Yeah, because then you would have been clearing like all of wreck ship and not even gotten the item you wanted.
Yeah, like if that was behind bowling, that would have just been awful. Yeah, 1 hour and 55 minutes. We are finally in go mode. All the doors are known. PvP has all her bosses down. Just needs to run over to Torian, kill Mother Brain, and then we can all sleep. I don't care if it's the mid-afternoon for you. I don't care if it's morning. Just we're all gonna take a nap after this. McTimothy's got to be looking at the time and just be like so confused, like.
Yeah, like possibly even both of them. Like they both put off Croc very long, and that was the entry into the logic of the seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point it's clear to both of them that the other person has made the same, if not very similar, mistakes, which was more or less true. Really the only thing that really sealed McTimothy's fate was the Croc issue. If he just got through the Croc first time, this would have been... I mean, not only would this have been a hilarious seed, this would have been a great race because they would have been right on top of each other. Like you said, he's just a set distance behind PvP. And honestly, I feel like the gap has closed. He spent a lot of time, not only in Croc, but afterwards.
Yeah, it's the time after Croc where he can go straight back.
Yeah, if he just went straight back, I think we would still be seeing a race, so... If this thing was still tight late, this would have been... probably one of the best races of all time, honestly, just from the combination of the seed and everything.
And here's that second last elevator. You can take it right to the Torian elevator, where they're given a full health and ammo refill, because this is area randomizer.
Yeah, something I didn't learn until my third practice seed, where I had been like studiously like filling up beforehand. That's why I didn't notice it, because like I was full going into Turian, so I didn't see that I was getting free refills. So I was like farming in Meridia and stuff.
Yeah, never really thought of that, but yeah, if you like always farm, like I guess you'd want to, then you'd never notice that you're getting a refill.
Yeah, or I was getting like a very small one and I wasn't like, you know, really paying attention to my exact numbers. I think it was one where I ended up having just like so much ammo. I only like had to farm, or maybe I had like charge or something. I was like, I don't need to farm. And it was like, here's a refill. I'm like, oh, whoops.
Runners have. I guess Bunny has all the items that she wants. Saw Spazer but skipped it, so can go through these Metroid rooms however she pleases.
Yeah, this is literally what it'd be like if you were doing Hundo. I mean, obviously, you would have Spazer, but Spazer and Plasma are at least theoretically mutually exclusive.
Timothy still on path. He knows he has to take.
Yeah, like again, really not.
Upgrade.
Especially if Timothy scouts out this charge before going to wreck ship, I think that's still going to be more efficient overall. Especially because PvP basically did everything except for Mama Turtle.
Wasn't the front entrance to wreck ship right here on the store that he was standing on though?
I believe so, yeah.
So you kind of want to go through that door and just
But
continue.
you have to go back to, because you know everything here. You know you have to leave through a crab, so you can just do it on the way out and do it last. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, again, like that requires some pretty on top of it thinking, and 2 hours into a randomizer seed, I can understand your brain just being a bowl of Jello pudding and just not thinking about such small things. But yeah, that would technically make sense. This is going to come close to your best time in SMZ3. In a full, obviously we have the reduced requirements now, but
Is that comparing the worst SM randomizer seed to the best SMZ3?
yeah, I mean, obviously a little bit of an unfair comparison, but it's still. Still pretty surprising to see from good runners. Again, from the seed's perspective, not from anything. I mean, yeah, there were, of course, both of them made mistakes and everything, but like this seed is just, this thing would be so difficult to do cleanly. Honestly, Polar Bear should be commended for, you know, despite some of her issues, just staying on track, not letting it get to her, and she's going to pick up the win here. I'm assuming no horrible Mother Brain 3 incidents happen.
Yeah, already through Mother Brain 2 into the cutscene, so it'd have to be the 3 or the escape. So pretty safe from here. So mctimothy did the partial West Meridia clear. Just left the beach area, which unfortunately had the charge room.
Yeah, again, we were just sort of talking minor efficiencies. It's, and then at the end of the day, it's not going to make a difference here.
No. It would be interesting to see how other runs would handle the seed. has just a little bit of everything.
Give it to Solsky.
Stream content.
This one's going to be hard to top this tournament, honestly, for just... I mean, an hour and 3 minutes for supers. That's... that's got to be a record.
Yeah. It's not like they were wasting their time either. Like they were doing checks.
And not only that, like the supers are the thing I think people are going to talk about as being the troll. That was over an hour ago at this point, so it's not like... And again, like, these runners can easily sub-hour a decent seed. So it was still bad after that. Like, it's not like that's what cleaned it up. There was still more horribleness after that, so...
Here we have Bunny coming up on the end of the seed. Can be done with the adventure.
Also, I do want to shout out the mods. Apparently, the seed has gone on so long. There was supposed to be a whole other race on this channel, and the mods scrambled to get some of the schedule shifted around so we could experience this whole thing. But at 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 31 seconds, polarbearbunny is going to take this one, with mctimothy forfeiting completely understandably right behind. So we will be getting them in for interviews, which I'm sure is going to be quite the interview. But yeah, GG's to both our runners for I mean, at this mctimothy has obviously solved the seed, is in the short of it. So GG's to both of them for figuring this one out, because this was a wild one. And we are now joined by polarbearbunny, the winner. GG's. I know before the seed I asked you not to cry in the interview, but I'm now going to give you permission to cry, because I would be crying.
I was thinking that the entire time, Duck. I was like, I have a right to cry this time.
I do want to point out that you were in my stream last night laughing as I was doing a troll seed, so this is your comeuppance. But we are also joined.
That seed.
We are also joined by mctimothy. GG's to you as well. That was quite the thing.
Sure was. My God.
So, an hour and 3 minutes was the first runner on Restream to get the super missiles. Yeah. So I do want to point out, we had talked a little about this during the stream. That was breakable. With the amount of E-tanks you guys had, plus you had screw attack. There was actually a super at 3 Musketeers, which would have skipped a lot of that.
I am aware.
Shenanigans.
That is there.
I found that too, and it's in your head, right? You're thinking like, there's no way I'm supposed to go this way. There's just no way. No, I'm not doing back of lower Norfair right now. It's not happening. I have to be missing something. Obviously, you guys saw, I honest to God thought I was just a moron who had missed something.
Yeah, we were debating once you had your issues with Croc. You were actually the first into Croc, and then you were Polar Bear had a clean fight, so she pulled ahead at that point while you were having some of the issues there. But we were debating whether you spent so much time in Croc if you were thinking like you had messed up, or if you were going like, okay, well, I wasted so much time there, I'm gonna now try to break it by trying to do like really the only thing that was possible was that lower Norfair. And then it kind of became clear with you like sort of rechecking everything that you weren't sure if you had everything. So just unfortunate. Like, this would have been a really exciting, if you did get through Croc there, this would have been a really close race too, not only just being a very trolly seed, but like I said, you were in there first, just by like a minute or two, and by the time the fight ended, Polar Bear had pulled ahead.
Yep, that's not surprising.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Like, I wanted to do the Lower Norfair play, but I kind of lost that entrance. Like, I thought it was the bottom of the Red Tower entrance, and I was wrong. And you would think going around the same portals 5 million times you would memorize them better, but it was the exact opposite effect.
Yeah.
Like, I was completely lost all the time.
Oh god, how many times did I go through a door and then go, wait, no, that's not where I wanted to go. Wait, no, yes it is. Damn it.
Yeah, so many circles. It was awful. It was so bad.
we were pretty convinced it was going to be wave. Polar Bear, it looked like you were like really sort of following logic, but it seemed like at a certain point, like once the seed obviously sort of turned awful, and like you knew it was going to be awful, that at least the scout of wave would have been. I mean, obviously it ended up not mattering because it was just garbage over there. But like we were surprised we didn't see any like earlier wave checks, like when she had an extra E tank or two, because like there could be an E tank there that could get you back, right? Or they're like, you know, I've seen Varia there that like it sort of becomes the world's easiest sequence break because you just get back for free. So I was surprised that we didn't see that from either of you until after you got the 5th E tank.
I was sick of doing that jump from the Bull Mountain save room, so I wanted to go for density. I hate that jump. I hate Bull Mountain.
There was so many times me and Aussie were like, well, this is clearly it. Polar Bear, you had the early where you were trying to go to the lower Norfair door and you died. And then like you guys kind of like backtracked a bunch and there was obviously nothing. And then me and Aussie were like, oh, it's got to be that. And then it turned out that was just lower Norfair again. I was like, well, that's not it. Like, there was so many times. I think there was at least 5, if not 10 times where I went, this 100% has to be a super. And I was wrong every time. In fact, once you got to wave, me and Aussie were both like, well, what does this even do? Like, I have to commend both of you for realizing it was Wavegate, because like I think we're both so used to just like, oh yeah, you just super that if you don't have wave. They don't even think about wave being required for that ever, except for the very edge case of it being your first super logically.
I thought of it beforehand. I thought that would be a very dumb thing that is possible, and of course it happened.
Yeah, we thought wave was nothing and we were going to see the super at grapple, and then we didn't, and we're like, excuse?
I had
Broken
that thought.
seed.
I had that thought as soon as I picked up wave, like I should just dip and go back to Wavegate right now, because the way this is going, that's going to be the play. But then I thought, if I do that and I skip some Croc checks, it's going to be somewhere down here, and I'm going to look like even more of an idiot. So,
yeah, kind of the funny thing is like the seed all hinged on Croc, and you guys both found Croc fairly early and noped out because you had so few missiles. The seed actually becomes a lot less gross if you just had more missiles. Like Polar Bear, we were surprised. Like you skipped a lot of missiles. Early on, we were kind of surprised by that because, like, not only like Croc was sort of on the radar at that point, but like you had to like keep stopping to farm, and it was just like those missile pickups would have been like, not even to have more, just like the fact that you get 5 right away. I was like, you probably should just be picking those up. And you kept skipping them until finally you realized it was Croc, and then sort of you were in a hole and you had to grab some. So
That was a mess. Listen, we're like 45 minutes into the seed by then. Plus, like in area generally, I like to skip things if I think that I'm probably going to be resetting. And because obviously I don't want to do the fanfare if I'm just resetting. And there was no strategy anymore. I was done.
same. Running around just going, I don't know, maybe this will work.
Yeah.
Maybe this will work. And, like every single check was just regular missiles, and like, God, the realization that came over me when I went through LN and looked at Three Musketeers and went, for God's sakes, I could have just done that. Like,
yeah, I mean, we're pretty sure that's not in. I think the way the logic works is lower Norfair always requires Varia. So even though that's very gettable, it wasn't in logic. But yeah, certainly would have been a pretty big sequence break. But Polar Bear does come away with the win. Aussie, do you have any questions for these two?
No, I think you covered it all pretty well.
Yeah, and I tend to take up all their interviews. I apologize, but yeah, I think we're all gonna go lay down after that. So Polar Bear, congrats on the win, well deserved. I don't think anyone expected runners of your quality to pull it off a 2-hour seed. So and it's absolutely not your fault. This is just an hour and 3 minutes for supers. That's just, and then it got worse. I mean, an hour, that was over an hour ago. It took you another whole seed after getting.
Yeah.
You guys could both do these under an hour. Like even once you got supers, you're like, "Ha, I finally did it." It's like you still had a bad seed to do after that.
There's so much missing still. Like,
Yeah.
no sign of Fan 2, no sign of Crate even. Like, just let me do something.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had found it became pretty obvious everything was just going to be off that West Meridia hub. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us then. mctimothy, do you have any last thoughts on this thing?
If that had been the first randomizer that I ever played, I would never ever play randomizer ever again.
So you wish it was your first randomizer you ever played?
Maybe I do.
Yeah. All right. And Polar Bear, our winner, do you have any last thoughts?
Yeah, is it too late to drop out of the tournament?
Absolutely not.
Just kidding. GG, mctimothy.
GG's,
I'm
congrats.
sorry.
Me too.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. Thank you to you guys for staying in. Thanks again to the mods for rearranging the schedule. Thanks to my co-commentator, Aussie, and thanks to our tracker, Jestro. I'm going to go eat my food that was delivered 40 minutes ago because I thought that was plenty of time for this seed to get finished. But yeah, more randomizer for the rest of the week and for the next several weeks if you guys can still stomach it after this. But that is going to do it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing. And we will see you all next mission.